Hi everyone, Vegas Film Critic here, Jeffrey Howard, here to review Miles Ahead, the Miles Davis. You can't call it a biopic and you can't call it the Miles Davis story because from through the grapevine, director and star John Cheadle gets real upset if you call it a biopic. And after you've seen it, and now I've seen it 3 times, believe it or not, it's not a biopic. And you always wondered, there's so many, biopics out there. I'm going to use that term loosely for a moment. There's so many biopics out there of jazz artists, of musicians, of whoever you want to pick. And you think, well, wait a minute, one of the greatest jazz legends of all time, a word that Miles Davis hated, why hasn't there been a story? Why hasn't there, we've heard about the Janis Joplin story being bogged down by the family and the rights to the music, the Jimi Hendrix movie. There's a couple out there, but not the music because the family didn't agree to it and they hold the rights to it. So it's just all kinds of craziness. So you think about Miles Davis, well, what's the story with that? And if you look around my channel here, I have an interview with his nephew, with Miles Davis' nephew, who's the executor of his estate and all the music, Vince Wilburn Jr. Hope I got his name right. He talks about all of that. So some really fascinating behind the scenes with the family on how this project came about. And it's all because of Don Cheadle. And Don Cheadle spoke to the family and said, look, I want to do a biopic for Miles Davis, but I don't know what angle to do or what. We don't want to do the standard movie where you show him in his childhood, the whole thing. You show his whole life and all the ups and downs. So what he did is he came, listen to this. Cheadle came up with a story where it shows his gangster days, like in the 1940s and early 50s, where he was a tough guy, and he was a tough guy the rest of his life. So he came back with a story where it all takes place in like one day and a night where the studio is like, Columbia Records is like, where's our latest record, Miles? And Miles is like, I want my money. And he's like, well, wait a minute, we want our recording session. Where's our album? And it's about Ewan McGregor as a journalist coming to get the scoop, about Miles Davis, why he's disappeared, why he hasn't made a new album in a long time. And he gets wrapped up in his life for this next 24 hours where there's gunplay, there's robbery, there's drinking, there's smoking, there's womanizing, there's all kinds of craziness going on. And Don Cheadle really, if you know Miles Davis, he really is channeling him. I mean, he's got that gravel voice going on and the hard-boiled smoking and drinking. And the direction is phenomenal. So this guy Don Cheadle, wrote, directed, starred, produced everything in this movie. And his direction is phenomenal. It really is. The transitions to his love affairs and to his wife, and showing the transitions, just in terms of the aesthetics of the film. I mean, just an amazing job, and he is fantastic. I can't believe you see him as War Machine in Captain America, or you see him in Ocean's 11, where he's just playing this kind of affable, kind of Dean Martin kind of guy, and then all of a sudden, that's not Don Cheadle up there on the screen. That's Miles Davis. So absolutely phenomenal performance by Cheadle. Also one of the best films so far of 2016, and the music too. I remember, I'm a big jazz fanatic. I took jazz appreciation in college, and I've just been loving jazz my whole life, starting with Dave Brubeck and John Coltrane. I mean, I could sit here forever. And I had Bitches Brew and, Birth of the Cool from Miles Davis. Oh, just phenomenal albums. So it was very important to hear the music in this, and I'm sure it was the Don Cheadle, because the man took trumpet lessons for the last 5 years. I'm not kidding. That is how dedicated John Cheadle was. So absolutely amazing performance. Really phenomenal film. Do yourself a favor, check it out. It will be remembered come award time and later on in the year. You will not forget this performance. It's fantastic. All right, for more reviews and interviews, surf on over to my website at vegasfilmcritic.com. Also, if you like what you see, which I know you do, please comment below. Let me know what your favorite Miles Davis album is. Also, share, comment, what else? Subscribe. How about a thumbs up? I'm Jeffrey Howard. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.